morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, I'm Chris Gilbert. I'm the CEO of Fox Marble. Some of you will know this. I remember this from last year where it gets very competitive with other we'll try, anyway. Right, Fox Marble. We are a buildings material company quarrying vast quantities of very high quality marble in Kosovo and now in Macedonia. So we have a number of quarries. We have 7 quarries in production from 5 quarry sites, quarrying a number of different styles of marble from a resource that when we listed 3 years ago was measured at 300 million cubic meters. This is about 1 billion tons of marble. So we have effectively got a resource that would last many lifetimes. So it's effectively, from our point of view, an infinite resource. And the reason for, okay, well, we're going to have to tackle this. The reason for this venture is because the marble in question is very high quality. There's lots of it. It's very near the surface, and it's very easy to quarry. So we're not miners, we're not explorers, we're not looking at anything, we're not looking for anything. We have it under our control, and we have it in these quarry sites. One of the things that we imported into Kosovo and Macedonia in order to do this was a lot of quarrying expertise in the marble business, all of which comes from Italy. So we have a technical office in Carrara in northern Italy, which is one of the centres of the marble universe. And our quarry masters come from there, our equipment comes from there, and our quarry strategist is based there. And he's the guy that basically supplies us with the technical knowledge. In addition to that, we of course take advantage of the fact that our workforce is all local, very local to the quarries as a matter of policy, and we operate in a very, very low-cost region. Sadly for Kosovo, it's the poorest country in Europe. The average monthly wage there is 262 euros. So we pay our quarry guys 400 euros, the senior ones, and they think Christmas has come early. Consequently, we're good local employers, we're good social partners, and we're there for the long term. We also benefit from the fact that our routes to market are very simple and very easy. The place has been reconstructed since the conflict that finished in 1999 or 2000. There are brand new roads that go all the way through to the port of Durrës in Albania and down to Thessaloniki through Macedonia in northern Greece, which is actually the biggest port in that part of the world. So our route to market is very easy, as well as the process of extraction and developing our product. One of the things that we agreed to do was build a factory in Kosovo, which has been the subject of much conversation for reasons that I'll come back to. And in the meantime, we process all of our marble in Carrara and Verona in northern Italy. This helps us from the point of view of reputation and gives people a sense of security and comfort, primarily because if you've got an Italian standard finish, people understand that it's a certain quality, and people take a lot of comfort from that. One of the things that we can claim with our business is that we have proven our business model. 3 years ago, when we listed this company, we were a startup, which people didn't like. We were in marble, which people didn't understand. There is no other listed marble company anywhere in the world now, I think. And we were in Kosovo, which everybody hated. And what we did was we said we would find, well, we had found the marble. We said we would extract the marble, which we've done. We've said that we would process it, which we've done. We'd said that we would sell it around the world, which we have done. So every example of our marble that is commercially available, we have sold somewhere in the world. This is the reason that we got into the business. I'm sorry, some of you, sorry, have I been standing in front of this screen? That's excellent, isn't it? If you look at this line here, these are examples of our marble. This is an example of the price of our marble in block form. One of our 2 core products is raw block marble, which are 20-ton cubes of marble, which we'll show you an example of in a minute. We sell this marble by the ton, and actually this is priced per cubic meter. So I'll work in cubic meters, and these are very, very conservative prices. You could apply this per ton. There are nearly 3 tons in every cubic meter. A cubic meter of marble we would sell for this kind of money, between 200 and 1,200 euros per cubic meter. Once a block of marble is sliced into slabs, 2 centimeter thick, creating our second core product, which is polished and cut into these large slabs, roughly the size of 4 or 5 square meters. It is then sold by area. It is sold in a per square meter basis to a variety of customers around the world. On a per square meter basis, a cut and polished slab of marble is worth anything between 45 and 300 euros per square meter. So we've done the math. If you reverse engineer what a cubic meter of marble is worth once it's cut and polished, you get to the bottom line, which is somewhere between 1,350 and 9,000 euros, depending on the type of marble that we're talking about. And this is our marble I'm referring to here. All of these examples are stone types from our quarry. 1,350 to 9,000 euros is what a cubic meter of marble is worth to us once it's cut and polished. It costs us less than 100 euros. It's not true. It costs us about 100 euros per cubic meter to extract. It costs us about 20 euros, 23 euros if it's somebody else's factory, to cut and polish the marble from block to slabs. Again, to do the math for you, that means that the cost of a processed cubic meter of marble is somewhere around the 700-800 euro mark, for which you can realize anything between 1,350 and 9,000 euros per cubic meter. That's why we're in this business. This is a very, very high margin business. Our gross margins are in excess of 70% once you've averaged everything out, once we've ramped up to the levels that we can achieve given the scale of the resource that we have and the size of factory that we're building. This is the reason we got into this business. The other reason is that this business is wholly fragmented. It is a totally fragmented business. There is no dominant player in the marble industry. There's nobody that can interfere with the supply-demand equation, and there is nobody that can interfere with the pricing arrangements. They're all privately owned, generally family-owned, generally owned by families. I'm talking about the quarries now, which is where the real money is, for generations, and operating in jurisdictions that are not the most transparent in the world. So we have come in as a British PLC, and basically that gives us not just the opportunity for creating a very profitable business, but also we have a wider opportunity here to apply the corporate mentality and philosophy to a business that doesn't have one at the moment. So it's it's a dirty secret, the money that's being made in the marble industry at the moment. When we formed our company, we put together a board that's very prestigious. Our chairman is Andrew Warner, who's the chairman of Marshalls, the big PLC that in buildings material. He's also chairman of the Go Ahead Group. Roy Harrison is a non-exec, who's the ex-group CEO of Tarmac. Sir Colin Terry is another non-exec, who until recently was chairman of Meggetts. He stepped down in April. And Paul Jordan, our fourth non-exec, is a significant investor in Fox Marble through Amati, his VCT fund that he co-founded in Edinburgh. And they round out the management team that consists of myself and my partner, who's a native Kosovan Albanian, whose fault this all is, and our new CFO, Candice Sutherland, who took over from our previous one, who is now on her second child, I think. Our shareholders include Standard Life, Magedi, Artemis. It was John Dodd's investment in Artemis. The Miton Group, Gervais Williams is a huge supporter of ours, and Amati, who I've mentioned earlier as Paul Jordan's a non-exec. Etra and myself own approximately 24.5% of the company, and that's the makeup of the company that's not within the free float. These investors have been with us since day one, and they have stood their corner at every subsequent fundraise that we have gone through, which we did in order to acquire a couple of additional assets. These are our quarries. As you can see, they're pretty developed now. That's a... Is this a lot? Oh, no, it's not working. This is the first of our two core products, a block of marble. And we sell block marble to those people that have their own factories and gang saws. 60% of all block marble goes to China. Our quarries are located, Kosovo's tiny, it's 11,000 square kilometers. But these are where our quarries are located in Kosovo. And latterly, we acquired a white marble in Macedonia, in the Prilep Basin, and we are one of only two quarries in the world that produces a marble called White Civic. White Civic is famous because it was used to build the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi about 15 years ago. This is a $14 billion monument to Sheikh Zayed, and it makes the Taj Mahal look like a dog kennel. And since then, this is a marble that's been in demand all around the world, and we will be benefiting from that as our quarry comes on stream. These are not bad photos of our material. It's tough to photograph marble. The grey we're doing very well with. The Civic, of course. The least dynamic of our stone at the moment is the red, which is out of favour as a fashion item, although we have sold it in Egypt, which says something about something. And we recently announced 2 weeks ago, I think, that we managed to open a quarry in Kosovo, in Malasheva, which contains this. Now this Aleera white, we believe by this time next year will be our biggest volume seller. This is an off-white marble that is very strong. It's a dolomitic marble, not a limestone. And it is a stone that everywhere we've sampled it has produced a very big reaction. Our problems have been getting onto the property, opening the quarry, and being in a position to commercially make it available. And we are literally at the point where we're just about to do that. So we expect this to be very significant for us in the new year. As I said earlier, our core products are the blocks, and then bottom right are slabs. These are slabs of White Civic that we processed in Carrara and have been sold in London and in New York, I think. This is the famous or the infamous factory building. I wanted to do a promotional stunt before the two end walls went up, in which I wanted to fly a biplane through it to show how big it was, but nobody would let me do it, basically. So that's a 7,000 square metre factory, which is big enough to process in excess of 400,000 square metres of marble a year once it's up and running. We have experienced a delay in this factory because the supplier of the polishing line, which is the heart of turning a block into a slab, Promotech in Italy, suffered a catastrophic fire in the summer in which its own factory burnt to the ground. One of my investors rang me up after we announced it and said, you know, Chris, you can't expect to release an RNS with the word fire in it and hope that it will go well. Thank you, which is fair enough. I've just been given a 5-minute warning. These are our slabs in various distribution platform partners that we have. This is a schematic of the relationships we have around the world and the ones that we're building out on. It is our job now to generate the revenues that we say this business can produce. We are confident that these revenues are coming. We have been delayed over a number of issues, but we are pleased with where we are. We're obviously disappointed with the delays that we've experienced, but we expect next year to demonstrate that the revenues and the margins that I've talked about are available to us, and we will succeed. This is our grey in Chelsea Creek, the Berkeley Homes development here in London. These are the penthouse bathrooms in the penthouses that go for 12.5 million quid a pop. This is the nice progressive development of the business and how much is produced each year. As you can see, it increases every year. That's our contact information. I have copies of this presentation on our stand, and I'm being waved at, so if there are any questions, very happy to answer them. I'm so sorry.
How much delay has been caused by the fire?
6 months. 6 months. 6 months because of the equipment. Our gang saws have been delivered, so they're being installed. It's the polishing line that we've been held up on. Yeah. Full production, middle of next year. Yes. I'm so sorry.
When do you expect to make a profit?
I'm not allowed to make forecasts, but my brokers have forecast that by the end of 2016 we will be cash flow positive. So the end of next year. I'm not uncomfortable with that thought. I'm so sorry.
You've got a negative cash flow problem.
We have had negative cash flow, but one of the things that people will understand is that as of June the 30th, we had 5.7 million euros in cash in the bank. We're not cash constrained. Great. Well, thank you very much. It's very nice to see you all. Great stuff.